I can see the dawn of a better day for humanity.
On the 1st of January 2026, just after midnight, a 34-year-old man stood in a decommissioned subway station beneath City Hall and took the oath to become mayor of New York. His name is Zohran Mamdani, and he is the first Muslim ever to hold the job. New York has around 800,000 Muslim residents. It has had mayors for more than 350 years. It had never had one who prayed on a Friday afternoon. And here is what makes it stranger. When Zohran Mamdani announced he was running, he was polling below 1%. His main rival was a former governor of New York, whose name everybody already knew. 14 months later, he was the 112th mayor of New York City, the youngest in more than a century, and the first ever born on the African continent. So how does that actually happen? Not just the campaign, because this story does not start in New York at all. It does not really start with politics either. It starts in Kampala, Uganda, where Zohran Kwame Mamdani was born on the 18th of October, 1991. His middle name was chosen by his father in honor of Kwame Nkrumah, the first president of Ghana. And his parents are an extraordinary pair to be born to. His father is Mahmoud Mamdani, born in Bombay in 1946, raised in Kampala, and one of the most respected scholars of colonialism alive today. He has taught at Columbia University since 1999. His mother is Meera Nair, born in Odisha in 1957, one of the most acclaimed independent filmmakers of her generation. Her debut, Salaam Bombay, was nominated for an Academy Award. Her film Monsoon Wedding won the Golden Lion at Venice, making her the first woman ever to take that prize. They met in Kampala in 1989, when Meera Nair went to interview Mahmoud Mamdani about a book he had written, and married 2 years later. Zohran is their only child, and that book she wanted to talk about was about the worst thing that ever happened to his family. In 1972, Mahmoud Mamdani was thrown out of his own country. He had grown up in Uganda in a Gujarati Muslim family, speaking Urdu, Gujarati, English, and Swahili. In 1963, he went to the United States on a scholarship, earned a doctorate at Harvard, and came home in 1972 to teach at Makerere. Within months, the ruler Idi Amin ordered tens of thousands of Asians out of Uganda purely because of their ethnicity, and Mahmoud Mamdani was one of them. He spent time in a refugee camp in Britain, then moved to Tanzania. He eventually returned home, only for a later government to strip his Ugandan citizenship, leaving him stateless for a period. He wrote about all of it in a book called From Citizen to Refugee. Meera Nair read it. She was making a film about an Indian family expelled from Uganda, which became Mississippi Masala, starring Denzel Washington. So she went to Kampala to find the author. That is how Zohran Mamdani's parents met. Zohran lived in 3 countries before he turned 8, and each one left something behind. He was in Kampala until about 5. Then his father took a post heading African studies at the University of Cape Town, so the family moved to South Africa just after apartheid ended, and Zohran went to St. George's Grammar School in Mowbray. Years later, he said that time taught him what inequality looks like up close, and that justice has to be more than an idea. It has to be material. Then at 7, the family moved again to New York, settling in Morningside Heights near Columbia. He grew up on his mother's film sets. He has never pretended it was a hard start. He has said openly that he never had to want for anything, and that he always knew this was not the reality for most New Yorkers. He went to Bank Street School, then Bronx High School of Science, where he co-founded the school's first cricket team and lost a run for student vice president. He finished at Bowdoin College in Maine in 2014 with a degree in Africana Studies. Now, about the faith. Zohran Mamdani is a Shia Muslim from the Twelver tradition, with Khoja heritage on his father's side. But he was not raised in a single-faith house. His mother's family is Hindu, and he has described his upbringing simply as an interfaith one. He has put it plainly himself. He is a Shia Muslim, raised in an interfaith family. That shows in how he ran. During the campaign, he turned up at mosques, churches, synagogues, and temples across all 5 boroughs, and attended Friday prayers at mosques of different traditions, not just his own. He was never especially loud about the details of his beliefs. For a lot of Muslim New Yorkers, watching someone with that name and that faith stand at a podium and talk about bus fares and rent, was the entire point. Not a debate about identity, just a guy from Queens talking about the cost of getting to work. He also became an American citizen fairly recently, in 2018, which means he can run New York, but never run for president. He has said the Constitution should not be changed for him. Before politics, Zohran Mamdani was a rapper. The tracks are still online. He bought his first CD at 9, Jay-Z's The Blueprint, and has said hip-hop gave him a way to understand himself and the world. Performing as young Cardamom, he worked with the Ugandan artist Hab. Their first song was an ode to chapati. Their 2016 project mixed Nubi, Luganda, Swahili, and English. He curated the soundtrack for his mother's film, Queen of Katwe. Then in 2019, as Mr. Cardamom, he released Nani, a comedy tribute to his grandmother, starring the cookbook author Madhur Jaffrey. His real grandmother, Praveen Nair, founded a children's charity in Delhi. During the campaign, that video resurfaced, and CNN played it back to him live on air. He just laughed and said he never thought it would end up on CNN. But the job that actually turned him into a politician was far less fun than any of this. Around 2019, Mamdani spent just over a year as a foreclosure prevention housing counselor at Chaya CDC in Queens. His work was knocking on the doors of homeowners whose names appeared on the city's tax lien sale list, trying to get them off it. That meant standing on a lot of front steps, telling people they might lose the home they were standing in. He cites that job again and again as the reason he ran for anything at all. In 2020, he challenged a 5-term sitting assembly member in Astoria and won the primary by a certified 51.2% to 48.6%. He was re-elected without opposition in 2022 and 2024. He met his wife, the Syrian-American illustrator Rama Douaji, on a dating app in 2021, and they married in Dubai in December 2024. And then in October of that year, still almost unknown outside his own neighborhood, he announced he was running for mayor of New York. Mamdani ran almost entirely on cost of living: free buses, a rent freeze, universal childcare, city-run grocery shops, and a higher minimum wage, delivered through video. One clip had him investigating street food prices, where he invented the word halalflation. Another had him walking the whole length of Manhattan, talking to strangers. He released videos in Hindi, Urdu, Bangla, Spanish, and Arabic, with Bollywood references built in. The Arabic one alone drew around 20 million views. On the ground, more than 104,000 volunteers knocked on over 3 million doors. In the June 2025 primary, he took 565,639 votes, the most in the history of a New York mayoral primary. In November, he won with roughly 50.4%, the first candidate past 1 million votes since 1969. A poll in June 2026 put his favorability among New Yorkers at 58%, from under 1% to City Hall in 14 months. A boy born in Kampala, whose father was once left without a country at all, now runs the biggest city in America.